lovelies, welcome or welcome back to my channel. If you're new, I post awesome hair videos every single Friday, so be sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you're notified every time I post. Today, I'm going to be showing you how to do this super pretty double French braided top knot. I will be demonstrating on this mannequin who has fairly long hair. This works if your hair is pretty short too, like shoulder length, because it works well to get all your hair up to put it in a ponytail or bun, if this hair normally would not be able to reach all the way up there. If you don't yet know how to French braid, I would recommend going and watching my French braid tutorial, which I will link down in the description. So to start this hairstyle, you're going to go to the side of the head and we're going to part a small curved section around the ear. This does not have to be super neat and precise because you won't be able to see this part line during the finished style, so that's about good. The exact size of this section is not super important as long as you have this whole section parted out. And then to keep this section out of my way for now, because this hair is fairly long, I'm actually just going to do just a quick traditional braid. It'll only take me a couple seconds and it will help keep the hair out of the way better than if I were to tie it into some kind of ponytail. And I'm not going to go all the way down here, I'm just going to go far enough so that I've established the braid and the hair won't be trying to infiltrate this big section of hair. And then you want to go around and do the same exact thing on the other side of the head, right above the other ear. So now that we have both of those sections pulled up and tied out of place, we're ready to part the hair into the top section and this bottom section. I find that the easiest way to do this is that even though we do want to part from the ear to the other ear, instead of starting from under here, it's easier to start from the middle and just part both sections, and you'll get the same effect, and it'll just be easier to handle the hair. So we want to aim for our part to come down right behind the ear. So you want to go to the top of the head where the crown is, right where the head starts to go from being horizontal to curve down. And that's where we're going to put our part. This part also does not have to be super nice and straight either because we're not going to see actually any of these part lines when we're done. So now that we have this section tied up, we're going to be working with this section first. So I'm going to go ahead and put a hair tie around this back section. And now you can let this whole top section fall back. And now what I'm going to do is I have gone ahead and tilted this mannequin head back. If you're braiding on yourself, you don't have to tilt your own head back, but if you're working on someone else, it will be easier to reach this top of the head if you just have them lean back a little bit. And we're going to pick up a small section from the very front middle of the head. And we're just going to be doing a French braid, just like if we were doing a normal French braid down the whole head at this point. When you're French braiding, the smaller the size piece you pick up, the closer to the front of your head the braid will start. So if you want the braid to start really close, just make sure you're picking up a much smaller section. You also want to make sure when you're braiding this braid that you are going straight back, so that it will go straight back to the bun, so the bun can be in the center of your head. As you're getting close to the crown of the head, there will be less hair on these sides for you to pick up, because normally if you were doing a French braid, all this hair would be loose and you'd be adding this hair too. But we're just adding this top section. So you want to keep braiding until all of that hair in this top section we parted out is in the French braid. And now I'm just going to keep braiding this down a little bit, and it will make it easier when we're putting all the parts together that we don't have to worry about holding the actual braids because they'll be tied off. When you're tying off the braid, you don't have to braid all the way down. You just want to braid down a good couple inches. And then you just go ahead and tie it off, and we will reposition to do the bottom braid. So at this point, we're ready to move to the lower braid. So you want to take this top braid and pull it out of the way. If you're braiding on yourself, you're going to want to completely lean over. And if you're braiding on someone else, just have them tilt their head forward. So I have tilted this mannequin head down. You will probably want to get the person you're braiding on to lean down a lot more than this. This is just however far this mannequin head will go. So we're going to work with it. And now if the person's hair is leaning down a lot more, this hair will be kind of up here and it'll be a lot easier to braid. But I'll show you can do it this way too. What you're going to want to do is you're going to split the hair in half and just kind of put it to either side so that you can get to the part you're braiding. So we're going to pick up a very small section from this part of the head. Now in this case it's the bottom of the head, but we're doing the same thing as when we were braiding from the front of the head. We're just going to pick up a small section. We're just going to start French braiding. The first couple stitches of the braid are the hardest because the hair tends to fall on itself, but once you get past that and you're up here, it's just fine. And so here, if you pull the hair away, you can see we've done a couple stitches and you can see it starting to form. And so now that we're adding our very last piece, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to complete our last stitch and we're done adding hair. But now we're just going to braid down a couple more inches so that we can make it easier to combine it together and tie off at the end. Now that we've got both braids done, we're ready to start putting this style together. You're going to take the top braid that you did and the bottom braid that you did, and we're going to pull them together, and you'll see they'll be right on that part line. And you're going to grab right on the scalp and hold the braids together and tie this into a ponytail. So now that we've got both of these braids secured here, we can take these elastics out because they've done their job. And now we're also ready to use these side pieces we sectioned out a while ago. Because you can see here on the side there's a part line and some of this gets a little messy before we pin it. And so what we can do is we're going to use these sections that we parted out over here, combing these up and adding to the ponytail on both sides. It gives it a clean transition from the braid coming up and the braid coming down. So I'm going to go ahead and unbraid both of these side sections, and then I'm going to comb them up towards the braid, and now I'm going to secure these two to the ponytail with another elastic. And now we're ready to put our bun or a top knot up here. If you have a favorite way to make your bun, you can totally make your bun however you would normally do it. And so here's the final look on our double French braided top knot. If you tried this hairstyle, go ahead and leave me a comment down below and let me know how it went. I'd love to hear that. As well as if you have any other hairstyles you'd like to see a tutorial on, let me know and I'll try to create one. Thanks for watching. Bye.